Hello and welcome to our presentation. This is our instructional design project on sound blending in kindergarten by Cody, Leist, and Danielle Peck. So I'm Danielle. I'm studying Master's of Learning Technologies, and I have a bachelor's in English from University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. That's pretty much my background. I took a break in between to have my two kids, and I've been kind of focused on raising them, which brings me to our project. So the project is actually based on the school that my son goes to, which is how we got introduced to this um, learning issue. And Cody, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Cody Leist. I am also in the Masters of Learning Technologies program. It's my final semester. Looking to graduate in the spring. I have a BA in communication with specialty in radio, TV, film communications, and a minor in journalism from Capital University. I was in newspapers for 5 years and moved into IT for a little bit, and I've done some radio, but also kept into that writing and knowledge base, if you want to call it that, just wealth of going in and getting information from people. And then also my background with this project is that I have a soon-to-be 4-year-old who is got a little bit of a speech impediment, and we're trying to work with her to make sure that she gets her ability to speak a little bit better on the right terms too.
Right, thank you. The educational problem and need for instruction. So our focus is on sound blending in kindergarten specifically. And this is the process of identifying letter sounds and joining them together to form a word. So taking k, a, t, and forming the word cat. The problem is students are not meeting expectations. The need for instruction was validated through a survey and an interview and administered to teachers. So right now, students are instructed daily on the process of sound blending, and they are expected to confidently use sound blending by the third quarter. As of now, which is the third quarter, about 5 to 10 students struggle with sound blending or fall behind their peers when learning sound blending. And out of 24 students in the particular class that we got data from, only 11 to 15 are able to use sound blending to identify unknown words. And if we'll go to the next screen. So a little bit more about our target learners. We are focusing on kindergarten students at one elementary in the Southwestern City School District. The school has made it very clear, and it is also our goal to keep their privacy, so we will not name the school specifically or use any personal identifiers throughout our project. So of the 24 students that we collected data on, 11 to 15 are able to identify all letters of the alphabet and their correlating sounds. Of those 24 students, again, 11 to 15 know the most common letter pairs and their correlating sounds. So like SH, CH, TH, and etc. We have a quote from the teacher. They said, along with the skills listed above, students have mastered the concepts of print and segmenting sounds and unfamiliar words before blending. Continuing on from data from our survey, students, oh, excuse me, I misspoke. Just general info on the students. They're there to learn out of obligation. However, they are highly motivated by praise and rewards. We're thinking 5 to 6-year-olds who are just eager to learn and prove themselves. They are tested on their knowledge of letter sounds and letter identification when they first enter kindergarten and are retested on this quarterly. They are not initially tested on their ability to use sound blending, but are tested on it quarterly after they enter. Another quote from the teacher, just a little background on the technology they use. They said, our students use Chromebooks, and on their Chromebooks, they have access to eye-reaching reading. They also use HMH as their literacy program, which has an online component for teachers to use with students. And Cody, I'll pass it on to you.
So one thing we want to look at with our survey is understanding the school district as a whole. Talking with Danielle's class, her son's class, they have around 24 kids in the class. Usually the expectation of a class size in the Southwestern City School District is 26-1 student to teacher ratio, where they also have 3 kindergarten classes in that specific building. And there's also 16 elementary schools throughout the entire Southwestern City School District, because while it might sound like that there's one high school, there's actually 4 when you look at how everything is branched out in this district. So you are dealing with large class sizes, and you are dealing with a group that is really stretched thin in terms of resources, understanding the student to teacher ratio. However, the goal here with these students is to go in and make sure that the knowledge types are being applied everywhere. There's not one program that's being taught to one class and something separate to a different class. Everything is to be uniform amongst all 3 classes in this kindergarten section. Now, I've gone through this. One thing that has been our struggle so far, or actually good things and bad things, what we've noticed so far is that we were able to get into good communication with the school. We were able to network properly with the teacher, be able to provide some kind of comfort, rapport with the with not only the teacher but also the administration, to, as Danielle mentioned earlier, going in and not identifying not only the students but the school itself for privacy reasons. Being able to go in at the second point, building a correct report and survey for the teachers to fill out and be able to provide honest and accurate feedback to help us build our level of curriculum and structure to see whether or not this is a good idea or not. We've been pretty good. Danielle and I have been able to communicate back and forth throughout the process of knowing when to expect information from the teachers, being able to listen to their feedback, and then also deciding on what exactly is needed for the students to make sure that this is not something that's too far already behind them or way too advanced for their type of grade. Again, we're looking at kindergarten level sounds that they should be making at this time of the year. A couple things we've noticed in this is that we've run into some roadblocks with getting survey results back from teachers, just the overall communication with the school. And when you have that, you have that struggle to go in and build that accurate scope of need, as we just mentioned. And then also, once we create it, it's kind of hard for us to go in and create something that's going to be a good device to implement later on down the future into future groups if it becomes successful.
All right, well, that was our presentation. Thank you so much for listening thus far, and looking forward to sharing more about this moving forward.